prospect. He's number 2 on your best prospects list.
Yes, he is. Like you said, he's offensive minded. He does everything on the front end. He can do things on the back end as well. But he's great after his offense. Defensively, you see him roll under shots, and he'll still be placing body shots and little right hands over the top as he's moving.
Salazar's a 27-year-old Dre, 24 wins, 9-year pro. He's been a veteran. He's fought here at 154, up to middleweight at 160. Most of his work has been in his native Mexico.
Yeah, he's a veteran in the sport. He's got a good team with Freddie Roach. They had a good game plan, it seemed like, in our fighter meeting, but you know, the execution again is what needs to be done. He is definitely outgunned, but he's got it. I want to see what he has, and if that game plan can be executed, which is be smart when he's on the outside boxing and then try to rough Xander up on the inside and hit him to the body.
Keep him in front. Keep him in front.
Salazar coming in behind that jab.
Yes, and he does possess a really good right hand. He has no first-round knockouts, so I don't expect anything coming from Salazar, but I can tell you this. Xander, right now, he has 6 first-round knockouts.
What I like about Salazar is he does not mind punching. Even when he's outgunned, he'll throw.
But you see that position right there that he gets in.
Leaning
that no
to the
man's
right?
land. Yeah, leans to the right.
Well, because he wants the right hand, the right uppercut, the right sweeping hook, and the straight right.
Yeah, but he set himself up to be hit with the left hook of Xander, which is his best punch.
4-punch combination from Zayas. Oh, and he scores the knockdown there. That should be a technical knockdown. The ropes absolutely held Salazar up, and yet Harvey Dock did not rule it a knockdown. So they fight on. But the big power shot sent him flying, and only the ropes held him up there.
Yes, it was a beautiful sweeping left hook by Xander. I don't know if Salazar was off balance in the process, but landed flush, and you saw the reaction.
And there was a left uppercut moments ago. So a big left hook. Signature punch of round number 1.
Keep him in front. Stop. Stop.
Salazar's not intimidated by the young man. He is fighting back. Dre, as you said.
Square Garden. He's had highlight reel moments on Heisman night in the past. What will he offer up in our main event? Total punches in the first round. Zayas a 20-11 connect advantage. 15 of those were power punches.
Nice stab jab down to the body. That opened up the combinations up top for Zayas. Good. You know what will help Salazar is the jab. Every time he uses the jab, he finds a home for it.
Here are the fans here in New York. The faithful Puerto Rican fight fans who have filled this place through the years. There's great Miguel Cotto, a headliner here so many times. Xander originally from San Juan, lives in Plantation, Florida, just outside Fort Lauderdale.
Zayas has to be mindful coming out of a clinch because he's relaxing on the way out, and Salazar is looking for a big shot.
Zayas is doing the right thing. He's looking for the right shots, the right hand and the left hook, but he needs to step a little bit more to the outside of that lead foot with his back foot to be able to have a better angle to land that right hand on the ear of Salazar, and also set up his left hook either to the head or to the body.
That's the big shot that he's looking for. The young fighter has to stay alert at all times. Salazar has to trust himself more. He's got to throw if he's going to land, and he's not throwing enough to put himself in a position to land anything significant.
Well, I'm expecting Salazar to come over.
Right there from Zayas.
I'm expecting Salazar to come alive for 4 rounds. He's been out of the ring for some time.
I think he'll shake that rust off just a bit.
And I don't know if the shoes or the ring, but Salazar is stumbling all over himself.
Salazar comes behind that jab, like you said, maybe that overhand right lands.
Ooh. Nice short left hook in the inside.
We're going to see with his ring walk. The heavyweights are up next, and then it is Teofimo Lopez and Sandor Martin in our main event, a WBO and WBC title eliminator. Round number 3 here with Zayas and Salazar. Salazar found a moment of success at the end of round 2, but he's being outworked. 32-20 is the connect advantage for Zayas.
But Salazar lands when he throws, because Zayas has still not learned how to take his head off the line. He still keeps his head right where it was when he started to punch, and if you throw, you can land, and that's what Salazar has to continue to try to do if he wants to try to win this fight.
And he's not maintaining distance also, Dre. He's at mid-range and standing straight up on that line of fire.
Bernardo, you're listening to the Hall of Famer in the corner of Salazar.
Yes, Freddie Roach told me, look, I want Salazar to get active with the jab, and I want that right up the middle, and I need him to back up Xander, because he can't allow this young kid to back him up.
Zayas has to learn how to punch and then roll to the left or the right, or step out at an angle with that left hand high, just in case the opponent wants to throw.
Nice big shot.
Left hook follows it up with straight right.
No. Don't push off like that.
Two-punch combination, right hand lands for Zayas.
Salazar being more bold in this round, taking the shots and trying to answer as often as he can.
Well, it's that somewhat of a Philly shell he's using with that lead drop down to block the jabs to the body. That backhand is used to block the left hooks to the body and upstairs. Seems like it's kind of confusing Xander. Xander's keep missing a little bit off the mark with his right hand and left hook. But you make your body less of a target when you angle your body out like Salazar's doing.
That's where Xander needs to stay, is down low, downstairs. Yes. Don't be so eager to eat upstairs. Set the table. Make the investment downstairs. Be disciplined, and the headshots will open up.
Well, when you really think about it, what's the biggest part on the body? It's the body. It's the biggest part. Hit the body, especially when the head's going to move.
Zayas, who you see in the blue trunks here, the undefeated prospect originally from Puerto Rico, living in South Florida, is to come back here to Madison Square Garden for Puerto Rican Day weekend and be the headliner when this crowd is filled with all those flags of the red, white, and blue. Round number 4 scheduled for 8 against Alexis Salazar. A 52-32 connect advantage to this point for Zayas.
Watch the holding, watch the holding.
Heavyweights are coming up next. Jared Anderson. A week ago right now, this crew was in London to watch the heavyweight champion Tyson Fury put on a show in front of 65,000. In moments, we're going to see Jared Anderson, who at one point was Tyson Fury's sparring partner. The more recent label is Next Rate Heavyweight. He's 12 for 12, starting his career with 12 knockouts. He'll be up against the veteran Jerry Forrest in moments.
Keep him up, keep him up.
See Zayas get hit on the way out the door again. They're not being mindful that his opponent is going to throw back. He's got to watch that.
Stand a little bit too long in front.
And there is Jared Anderson, gentlemen.
There's not a lot of side-to-side movement from Xander. Just small steps, not big steps, small steps, left and right. He's standing, see his feet are planted right directly in front. That's the problem. And he comes back to that same position after he punches.
Salazar still looking for a big shot. He knows that the onus and the burden is on Zayas to please this crowd. He understands the assignment, so he's allowing Zayas to take the risk in hopes that he goes to sleep or makes a mistake to try to counter.
See, but that's the biggest issue that I have with Xander Zayas. The biggest issue is that he fights for the crowd or with the crowd. That's the problem. He'll come out blazing fast. Now you see him starting to slow down a bit because he's gassed from expending a whole lot of energy, but he typically fights for the crowd and to the crowd. That's a problem.
Unless you're the crowd.
Exactly.
Then you like it. You like a fighter who has all that emotion going through him and wants to be the entertainer.
See, but what happens
it comes with risk, though.
It does. It comes with a ton
and a lack
risk.
of consistency.
He don't got to worry about it right now because he don't have a guy that can punch in front of him. But as he moves forward and levels up, he's gonna have guys that can punch. And that's where I'm gonna be worried about him.
Which is why it's always interesting in how we see the development of these prospects, what we notice, what you notice, and how you see those levels of growth.
Well, he's been tested tonight. He has a slick fighter in front of him. Now we're able to see a lot of mistakes.
Coming to the end of 4.
Time!
And Alexis Salazar, Xander Zayas, who signed a contract with Top Rank when he was only 16 years old. 11-time Puerto Rican and U.S. national champion.
Coming back to the same line. Too easy. Tess, if a car is coming directly at you,
yes,
are you going to go back?
No, you stay on the line of the car.
You're going to stay on the line of the car. You're going to go to the side.
You make boxing so simple.
I mean, it's simple. Tess, I mean,
Salazar's gaining more and more confidence, and he's landing more and more punches.
You see it here at the beginning of round 5.
Saw it at the end of the last round, and he's computed the punch of Xander. He believes he can take it. That remains to be seen if he doesn't get caught with something down the stretch, but you see him opening up, and that tells me he's becoming more confident.
This kid's been in the game for over, like 10 years.
27-year-old veteran. 29th fight of his career.
9 or 10 years in the game.
There's a guy who is about to step into the ring for the 19th time, Teofimo Lopez. When he has stepped into this ring before on Heisman night, it has been TNT, just pure fireworks. Remember the first round knockout against Mason Menard in 2018. Remember the knockout of Richard Comey in 2019 to win a world title. And now the guy who was always dubbed the takeover is the take back. He's trying to get back to world championship level, but now at 140 pounds as he locks right into that lens. Lopez and Sandor Martin coming up.
If you're Xander Zayas, and we use this analogy on these airways about getting in the house, he's got to try a different way. You saw Keyshawn Davis take power off of his punches so he could land and try to lull Burgos to sleep so he could land the big shot. That's what Xander Zayas has to learn to do. Pick up his jab, throw a hard jab, then throw a flicking jab. Feint, throw a shot that's not too hard. Allow Salazar to get comfortable, and then boom, land a big shot. These are the different nuances of the game that he has to develop as he climbs the ladder. Because if you have the same cadence and you come the same way, a fighter that's been around as long as Salazar, he'll pick up on it, he'll understand the rhythm, and he'll fight within that.
Wait. Watch the holding.
You cannot throw the same combinations, and you cannot come the same way.
Let him go. There you go.
We're going to take a very short break here at the end of 5. Be right back to live action from MSG. And in just moments, we will find out what Teofimo Lopez does on this Heisman night. We will have Jared Anderson the primed undefeated heavyweight coming up, and then it's Lopez against Martin. You see the total punches between Zayas and Salazar. Zayas with a 79-57 advantage.
Zayas is not as sharp as I've usually seen him.
Correct.
He is not sharp.
Quick. Nope. Put the hand down. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Seemed a little flat in the first round to me.
Some of this is Salazar, too. We got to give him a little credit
I get
as
it.
well.
Yes, I get it, but I'm just saying. What I'm saying is he's not responsible defensively as I've seen him in the past.
Salazar felt very confident that this step up would show that against Zayas. He felt that Zayas, as he said to us, listen, he's never fought a real fighter. I have respect for him, but this is his first fight against an actual guy who can go. And he was very expressive in saying, I came here to win, not just to show up against Xander Zayas, to win.
Big shot right there over the top. Oh,
left hook.
Did you see the left hook coming right back?
Yes.
From Salazar? That's a problem.
Defensive flaws tend to be, Timmy.
Well,
right?
the thing is that when you don't feel the punching power coming from your opponent, you'll take a little bit more risks, and you don't really care about defense. You care about just working your offense.
Salazar's rhythm at this stage in the fight is block, block, fire, fire. He typically doesn't lead unless it's one big shot like a left hook. But he wants to block and then he wants to fire just like that.
Just like that. Block, block, fire, fire.
Good body work right there. Both men exchanging.
And again, both men digging in with left hooks right to the belt line. And Zayas ties up.
Because he felt it. He felt that left hook to the body.
Right.
2 rounds to go here. Lamada, Rocky Marciano, all the way through to Vander Holyfield and Bernard Hopkins and the recent greats of the sport like Lomachenko. And tonight we will see Teofimo Lopez, who is making his 8th appearance at this property. Round number 7, Xander Zayas, the undefeated prospect with all the support from the Puerto Rican fight fans, getting a test tonight against Salazar.
See, that space in between can be used and dominated. Whoever wants to shoot that jab out there and set up offense afterwards. You know, I look at a lot of things, Tess. I mean, first half you see Xander coming out really fast. He had some pop on his shots. Now, seemingly, he doesn't have pop on his punches right now.
There's Jared Anderson, the heavyweight. He's going for his 13th straight knockout in moments. He has stopped 9 of the 12 opponents within 2 rounds. Tonight the opponent is Jerry Forrest, whose only stoppage loss came a decade ago. Heavyweights coming up next.
I think it's less about Xander being flat to me, because he's had some really good moments in this fight. It's more about just the punch selection. He's used to throwing certain combinations a certain kind of way, and it typically will get the job done. Tonight it's not getting done that same way. He's faced with some resistance, and I haven't seen him make that next adjustment. That's the problem, I think, tonight for Xander Zayas. And we say problem while he's winning every round.
Exactly.
The problem in order to stop a guy like Salazar.
The problem is down the road, Dre. That's the problem. Because if he fights this way against top-notch competition, I know he's just at the beginning stages. That's where the problem lies. Making too many mistakes.
Well, I think he's fine, but I think that he has to make those adjustments.
Exactly.
I think, yeah.
And I think he will.
I think he's fine, but he has to continue to grow and develop.
Yes.
Speaking of guys who are very much a problem, you don't have to wait long to see one of the very best in the world. This is going to be Tuesday morning on ESPN Plus at 6 a.m. sharp. So if you're on the East Coast, grab your coffee and watch Naoya Inoue and Paul Butler. This is for the undisputed championship of the world at 118 pounds. Of course, Inoue, many have him #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. ESPN.com right now has him #2. He is a.k.a. the monster. Pound for pound, arguably the most powerful puncher in the sport, is coming Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Who would shine the most? Who would have a challenge? And we are seeing Xander Zayas with a challenge here as we have reached the 8th and final round. He's up on the punch stats according to CompuBox. Had a 19-12 connect advantage in that 7th round, 114-82 overall. 8th and final round.
Zayas has an asserted effort to try to get this stoppage in his last round. Salazar doesn't seem to want to play along.
Punching between punches.
Yep. And Salazar's doing something that many of Xander's opponents don't do, going down to his body. Oh, nice
opening up wide. This is good stuff right in the middle of the ring right now. Look at Salazar and Zayas. Just willing to trade. Crowd is loving it here at MSG.
Don't do that. Don't hit him behind the head. Quick. Watch the holding.
A lot of picture taking right now by both men. Both are exhausted.
They let their hands go in the first minute of this 8th round.
I think they deserve that breather.
Yep. Well, let themselves up for a bit.
But I mean, you can use your jab a bit. Try to control that space in between to be able to set up offense.
3 things that Zayas needs to improve on and go to that next level. He needs to make that jab great. He needs to work on his punch selection and his cadence and not come the same way. And he needs to improve on being a two-way fighter. When you punch, you have to have a defensive move every time to get out of harm's way, even if your opponent doesn't throw. Those are 3 elements that he's got to go home and work on.
The last is the most critical.
But that's crazy.
Because that can send you off the rails.
Look, that's crazy because that's what I liked about him. That's what I liked about Zayas. He was offensive-minded, but he also paid respect to his defense. And tonight, he's not.
But this is the kind of fight you need.
Hands are free.
If you're going to find a reason to go back to the gym, you say go back to the drawing board and improve. Improve on what? He's got some things to improve on and go back to the gym and work on after this fight. He needs a Salazar in order to graduate to the next level.
As soon as he heard the clap, he let those hands go. Let's see if they trade right to the final bell. Goes the distance, Zayas and Salazar.
Inside Madison Square Garden, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Ken Ezzo has the bout 80-72. Don Ackerman and Kevin Morgan both score the bout 79-73. For your winner by unanimous decision, and now the NABF and NABO Junior Middleweight Champion, Xander